It's unusual that a businessman would speak at such an event, but I'm here more to, talk about something that doesn't have a voice, and that's infrastructure. I've been a part of, building for 30 years massive developments, and much of it unsustainable. And after all those years, I've really noticed that infrastructure is clearly falling very far behind. It's most noticeable with my government clients, such as the Transportation Authority and the Ministry of Highways or the hospitals or the universities. They seem to be doing quite poorly, and yet the giant corporations that I also work for, and the hundreds and hundreds of malls that we build, or the sprawling single-family developments that we build, they're doing very, very well. So it's a juxtaposition of things. So infrastructure, in my opinion, after these years, I've noticed that it ensures quality of life. It's essential to it. And it also ensures real estate value, but it is underfunded. And growth is typically the cause. Now, growth, particularly in the form of high-rise towers, can create focused overuse of existing infrastructure. And I have determined, based on looking at the problem, I've agreed with a lot of people that growth should in fact pay for itself. New growth should pay for itself, not existing buildings, but new growth. And that's starting, but it's still not really there. The public sector makes the public sector makes and the private sector takes. Now that financial model is not sustainable, and the middle class over the years will be harmed. And business infrastructure, very efficient. I work on these. We can cover thousands of miles in these. Steel and grease and noise. Containers stacked so high they block out the sun. It's what people want. And it's very efficient, and there's plenty of money for it. It does pay for itself. Real estate, Greater Vancouver in British Columbia, you can see it over on the left. It's like in terms of its cumulative value compared to natural gas or some other form of real estate or some other form of economic activity. None of them really compare. Real estate profits, and I speak as one who knows, are a gold mine. But in fact, a gold mine is like a paper route compared to real estate profits. Metro Vancouver's wealth does primarily come from resource extraction of the hinterland, and there is very little left over for infrastructure. The public sector and infrastructure do not share in the increased real estate values, but they create the possibility of it. Too many condos or overuse means public sector values, or the public infrastructure, can systematically be converted and privatized into private real estate value when access is limited. Towers, particularly out of context, can overwhelm civic infrastructure and again privatize public value. Vancouver's zoning is quite loose, allowing towers routinely. There can be a great deal of trouble. Calling this a park does not make it so. And there's a lot of greenwashing regarding density. This is the regional town center plan. The original ideas were to create all the infrastructure with what little money we had and have everyone focus in those specific areas. But problems have arisen when people have not stuck with the plan. That plan is not very flexible, but it is efficient. But now we're dealing with towers all over the place. and they're kind of distorting things. Towers need transit. This is an example of one of the dozens of studies that I would conduct on transit usage and its direct correlation with real estate development at every station. This is within 400 meters. This is just a sample outer or kind of inner urban city of Burnaby. You can see it in red. That would be the control, and the Hastings and Willingdon is just a random intersection with no station, and the others have stations. And you can see that it's really twice the development trend. And here I just take as a last slide, compare towers, high-rise, low-rise, and townhouse. Everything makes a vast profit. Don't worry about that. And it's my job as a real estate development consultant, as I say to my clients, don't worry about how much money you're making. I will just ensure that you don't lose any. And no one is saying that for infrastructure. No one is saying that on the public sector side. And it's kind of surprising to me, or no one with a loud voice is saying it anyway. And this just lays out that low-rise and townhouse have a very strong place in the urban infrastructure. They should not be undervalued. Yes, towers are fine in downtown and in big urban nodes, but low-rise and townhouse should be a much more dominant form. And one of the reasons is not just, that it keeps it human or anything like that, but it doesn't tax the existing infrastructure. It's the case that if Vancouver, with all its education and wealth, cannot pay for growth, what city could? Thank you.